Lewis Hamilton transforms into Silver Fox as he gets old man makeover. Lewis Hamilton might have created a new photo trend after dressing up as an old man. The racing driver got a weird makeover as an old man complete with wrinkles. Fans got a throw-forward look at what Lewis might look like when he's 70 as he donned a white wig and white beard. Poking fun at his OAP makeover on Instagram, Lewis said, "Throwback to the future." He added the hashtags Grandpa Lewis #TBT at Allianz. Fans were encouraged him to show up to his next race as Lewis Sr. They would go mad, an old man getting into their car, one said. "You look like my dad," came another comment. Others called him a handsome grandpa and an old Greek philosopher, while one fan pointed out that his eyebrows looked out of place as they weren't white like his hair. "We think getting older is going to suit Lewis if he looks anything like he does in this pic." The 34-year-old also shared some behind-the-scenes photos revealing how his makeover was done, with one picture showing makeup artists placing a wig on his head. The reason behind Lewis' transformation was an advert he made in 2016 with Allianz. The ad, set in 2066, sees an elderly Lewis relaxing in his massive country home telling his grandchildren about all his achievements in racing. "Dare to follow your dreams," he tells them. Next new Sirotkin, F1 return a long-term target. Sergei Sirotkin says that returning to Formula One is on his agenda, but admits that it is a long-term goal. The Russian spent the 2018 season at Williams before being axed in favor of Robert Kubica. Sirotkin struggled throughout the year in the difficult FW41 car that was planted at the rear of the grid. The Russian ended the year bottom of the drivers' standings with just 1 point to his name, which was granted following a Romain Grosjean disqualification in Italy. Sirotkin's plans for 2019 involve the World Endurance Championship with SMP Racing. However, his firm goal is to make it back to F1. The main target, which is probably more of a long-term target now, is obviously to come back to the F1 grid, he said. "It's still too early to say how easy or how possible that is to achieve, but that's the medium to long-term target. Here for now all I know is I will have to do a few races and work in LMP1 with the SMP team, probably one which is next month already in the USA, so I will have something to drive. Then depending on other opportunities and other possible races, this probably can be shorter or wider or more diverse. I'm still in quite early points of discussions, so it's not like I know right here right now what I'm doing." The Russian also admitted that Formula E is an option for the future, as he will test with Mahindra at the Marrakesh Rookie Test next week. Just before the new year, one got a sudden phone call from the team to take part, which was one of the interesting directions for me after F1, so I was happy to take it. To be honest, it's my first day here where I've met the team and the people, so I'm kind of trying to relate what the goals of the test are and what the team wants me to do. For the next few days it's Formula E, which again will be interesting to see what it is, because long term it's something interesting. Next news: 2018 record versus Verstappen not the true picture. Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo believes that the gulf between himself and Aston Martin Red Bull Racing teammate Max Verstappen in qualifying and race conditions failed to show the true picture of the 2018 season. Ricciardo suffered a dismal record with a reliability that contributed to a lowly 6th place in the Drivers' Championship, 79 points behind 4th-placed Verstappen, despite taking 2 wins at China and Monaco in the first half of the year. Additionally, Verstappen out-qualified Ricciardo 11 times in succession between Canada and Japan with an average gap of 0.145s over the season. The Australian retired from 8 out of the 21 Grands Prix, his frustration culminating in a move to the Renault Sport Formula One team for 2019. However, Ricciardo insisted that he was happy with his performance through the year. "I am happy with how I've been this year, and I certainly feel that the points and the qualifying tally don't show the true picture," he told Motorsport.com. "I don't want to take the credit away from Max because he is getting better every year and he's a top-level driver. There is no doubt that he is extremely fast and he's not easy to beat on any day." The 29-year-old stated that there were days where Verstappen was the quicker driver, but countered by noting that issues have hampered his progress on Saturdays. "Even on those days where he has outqualified me, I've still been comfortable with it, and most of the time I've understood why," he continued. "Sometimes I've taken my hat off and said that it was just a bloody good lap, but there have been other times where there have been some issues and I've had some little things which haven't quite gone my way." After an incident-riddled start to the season, Verstappen altered his approach to a more calculated one and finished the season by outscoring every driver bar world champion Lewis Hamilton in the final 9 races of the year. Meanwhile, Ricciardo could only manage 48 points after the summer break and failed to reach the podium in races that he did not win. His best chance of victory in the late stages of the season was in Mexico. Starting from pole, Ricciardo suffered with ongoing engine issues and was forced into retirement on lap 61 as Verstappen eased to victory. "Long story short, I'm still comfortable with the year 1 had," Ricciardo added. "Even where I haven't performed maybe as well as I would have liked, if there wasn't a reason for it, I've been able to understand it. And if I don't know why, I've been able to figure it out and move on. I'm happier than what the statistics show, let's say that." Next news: Hamilton did not have to go full throttle to win 2018 championship. Max Verstappen believes that a number of drivers, including himself, could have matched Lewis Hamilton in winning the 2018 Formula One World Championship if they had the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Motorsport package available to them. With 11 victories, 6 of them coming in the final 9 races of the season, Hamilton claimed his 5th World Championship with a record points total for a driver in a single season with 408. His nearest rival Sebastian Vettel stood 88 points adrift for Scuderia Ferrari. Hamilton's 2018 achievements saw him equal Juan Manuel Fangio's championship tally and move inside 20 victories of Michael Schumacher's record number of Grand Prix victories. The 34-year-old needs a further 19 wins to surpass the German's total of 91. However, Verstappen believes that he and a number of other drivers could have won the championship in equal machinery. In Aston Martin Red Bull Racing's final year with customer Renault Sport engines before moving to Honda for 19, Verstappen managed 2 victories on his way to 4th in the Drivers' Championship. "I think Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo and I could just as easily be champion with such a car," Verstappen said, speaking to Formula One. "When I see onboard images, I think Mercedes has not even gone full throttle in many races." The 21-year-old Dutchman also believes that he can be champion with Red Bull, should Honda deliver a solid power unit for them. Verstappen reportedly had the chance to join Mercedes in 2017 following Valtteri Bottas's mid-season stutter, but suggested that it would not have been convenient for him to play a supporting role to Hamilton. "When I think of my own career, it is not convenient to sit next to Hamilton or Vettel right now," he added. "Although I would absolutely do it if I had no other choice. I believe that with Red Bull I can also become champion, as long as we have the right package together." Next news: Ferrari weren't right under Arrivabene. One racer-turned-pundit Martin Brundle believes Ferrari weren't right under the leadership of Maurizio Arrivabene, with the Scuderia having moved on from their team principal and replacing him with reported internal rival Mattia Binotto for the 2019 season. Ferrari produced a car capable of matching, and occasionally outstripping, Mercedes in 2018, but they fell short of the Silver Arrows, with Sebastian Vettel also defeated by Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Brundle pinpointed moments such as Vettel's spin in Hockenheim, having spent laps trapped behind a slow-moving Kimi Räikkönen, and the team's home Grand Prix in Italy, won by Hamilton, as evidence that Arrivabene's leadership was failing. "You don't know what you don't know if you're not inside an organization," Brundle said at the Autosport International. "But I did observe it, and see that things weren't right." You look at situations like Hockenheim, where Vettel was put under pressure because they didn't do the right things earlier on in the race. Then he fell off the road, and he fell out of the championship from that moment onwards. You look at other things like the slipstreaming in Monza, Räikkönen took pole ahead of Vettel after Ferrari refused to switch their order. Certain things weren't being done. Binotto has worked his way through the ranks over 2 decades at Ferrari, and Brundle believes the Swiss is the right man to get the Scuderia's machinery in the right place. "I do know from people like Ross Brawn and others who have worked with him, he is most highly regarded," said Brundle. "I think he'll get the car and the engine to where it needs to be, and the rest of it should be easy, if Vettel and Leclerc are doing their jobs."